Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we have less than 24 hours until Ninjago Dragons Rising Part 2 graces our screens, and for today's video, I just wanted to make one final video before the season does conclude, talking about how I'm excited for Part 2, some of my expectations or last minute predictions, how I think this season will end, maybe even some worries or fears that I have about the season, and finally I will conclude the video by talking about my reviews and how that schedule is going to be looking tomorrow. So stay tuned if you want to take part in that discussion. That'll be happening towards the very end of the video. But anyway, like I said, we have less than 24 hours until Dragons Rising Part 2 gets released, and I am very much excited for Dragons Rising Part 2. I really enjoyed Dragons Rising Part 1 when it came out 4 months ago, back in June, and I'm getting a very similar feeling to what I had last year. Now obviously last year with Ninjago Crystallized, I think the hype was a little bit bigger for Part 2. I know for a lot of people for Dragons Rising, this was a good chance to take a break, and some people may have left the fandom following Ninjago Crystallized, and I feel as though the overall community hype for Dragons Rising, especially for Part 2, is not as high as it was for Crystallized, but that's to be expected. My personal feelings though, I feel relatively the same that I felt last year. I'm very excited to see where this season ends, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to surrounding Dragons Rising Part 2 in particular, and it's been a long time coming. Like I said, Part 1 came out back in June, and it's currently October. That's a long while to wait, and I feel like Dragons Rising Part 2 will definitely be worth the wait. I think us Ninjago fans are going to be in for quite a treat tomorrow, and I do have some expectations. I do think that the season will end on a strong note, while also setting up Season 2 of Dragons Rising, which we do know is confirmed for 2024, so expect some type of foreshadowing or some type of lead-in to happen towards the end of Part 2, maybe even towards the middle with certain characters. And for the ending, I do expect the ninja to be victorious over Imperium and Empress Beatrix. I think Imperium, especially Beatrix, these guys were very much just for Dragons Rising Season 1. I think Season 2 is going to be more focused on Lord Ras and all of his stuff, his plan, his origin. That'll be Season 2 stuff, and Season 1 has already done a great job of setting that up, so I feel like the payoff will be in Season 2 next year. I'm also kind of hoping for some character returns, especially in the Cole and Jay department. I know that Cole has already been confirmed for Part 2. He's been in certain trailers and promo footage, but Jay is nowhere to be found as of this current moment in time. We do have hints towards Jay, and that's all I'll say for this video right here so that we don't get into spoilers, and we know that he is obviously in the Dragons Rising Season 1 sets, so hopefully he shows up. It'd be very strange if after LEGO's huge initiative to make the Dragons Rising sets applicable to the show, they just decide to not include a character that was in the sets. That would be a very strange decision on LEGO's part, so I expect Jay to be in Dragons Rising Part 2, at least to some degree. And also with Master Wu, maybe he will show up at some point. I know that some folks want Ninjago to save him for a later season, and they totally could, and Wu has had some relevance in the series already, despite not being there physically. So if Master Wu does not show up, I would not be disappointed, but I'm very much holding out hope that both Jay and Cole will return, and maybe they will have some type of big role to play in the ending of Part 2. Fingers crossed for that. At the same time though, I do expect Dragons Rising Part 2 to carry on the tradition of Part 1 and focus on their core cast. So Lloyd, Kai, Nia, Aaron, Sora, with Wildfire and Zane, I guess, being a part of the main cast now, even though they weren't before Dragons Rising started. And I guess that's a good segue to talk about some disappointments that I might have regarding Part 2. Now, I know that a lot of Ninjago fans will be devastated if Cole and Jay are not there for a huge role, but I kind of expected them to have a smaller role. I just want them to be there in some form. And from the looks of trailers and other hints that we've received, I feel like they will be, but I will not be disappointed if they have a small role, because that's what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting them to have some type of huge comeback and be a main character. It would be nice to have the entire team there for the finale for sure, but if Jay and Cole are not there, like I said, I will not be disappointed because that's kind of expected. And it's very likely that Jay and Cole, even though they did not have a huge role to play in Season 1, they will come back in Season 2 and have a much bigger role there. Also, I've mentioned in previous videos that I think introducing Garmadon would be an awesome way to end the season, but honestly, the more that I think about it, the more I feel as though Dragons Rising Part 2 already has a lot to conclude on its own. And for Garmadon, we know that he will be in Ninjago Dragons Rising at some point thanks to some early set listings, but if it's not at the end of Season 1, and if he shows up, for example, in Dragons Rising Season 2, I think that would be okay. All that matters to me is that Garmadon is in the show, which it seems like he will be, so fantastic. But like I said, I want to keep my expectations in check because I feel as though Dragons Rising Season 1 will end focusing on our core cast. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case for everybody in the Ninjago community, and I do expect there to be some hate towards Dragons Rising Season 1 if it ends without having a big role for Cole and Jay especially. A lot of Ninjago fans want to see Jay back, but I feel like if Dragons Rising Part 2 only introduces him ever so slightly, that'll make his comeback in Season 2 a lot better and a lot nicer. So keep that in mind if you are expecting Jay to have a big role in Part 2. And overall, I am very much looking forward to Dragons Rising Part 2 coming very, very soon. I cannot wait to finish this season. It's going to be amazing. And with that being said, let's talk about the structure of my reviews on this channel, because tomorrow is going to be a crazy day. So tomorrow I plan on uploading at least 11 videos. So 10 episode reviews, which will happen very early in the morning. Since we are expecting Part 2 to release around midnight my time, I will start my reviews at around 5 or 6 in the morning, and then upload one every hour until we get done with all 10. That'll bring us nicely to the afternoon, and at that point I will release a video very similar to a video that I made at the end of Part 1, in which I will talk about my first impressions regarding Part 2 and what it means for the entirety of Dragons Rising Season 1. And on Friday, going into this weekend, that'll be a prime opportunity for me to actually break down Dragons Rising Season 1 a little bit more, and also focus on other videos such as an updated Ninjago history video and also an updated ranking of the seasons, which I do plan on releasing maybe this weekend on Saturday. And now would be a good time to check out some of those older videos, especially my older ranking of the seasons, which I put up last year when Ninjago Crystallized ended, just in case you guys are curious to see how my ranking has changed over 1 year and how it looks right now and after Dragons Rising Part 2 releases. And yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about for today's video. I think we went through everything on my list. Long story short, guys, tomorrow is going to be a very busy day on the channel, so be sure that you guys are subscribed with your notifications turned on, because you do not want to miss any of the content that I have coming out for you guys, finishing off this week and going into this weekend. And so with that being said, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Just wanted to make a really quick final thoughts video before Dragons Rising Part 2 gets released, and be sure to leave all of your thoughts and theories down below in the comments. Also drop some of your expectations, maybe your fears, your last minute predictions, anything that you want to write down below, feel free to do so. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. That'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. I will see you on the other side. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.